Hello and namaste everyone. Welcome to the video. Today in this video, I'd like to talk about users and permissions management in MySQL database server. So the topic is user permissions management in MySQL server. The major agendas of today's videos is to log into to MySQL server using root user. The operating system that I'm going to use is Ubuntu, and there we'll be creating users in MySQL database, granting privileges, revoking privileges, and after that we'll explore how to create different roles in MySQL server and revoking roles from a particular user, and at last we'll see how to delete roles and users. So without wasting any time, let's get started. So now let us begin by logging into the MySQL server. For that, we have to execute the command sudo mysql. So it may ask you for the password of the current user. If that is the case, you have to give the password, and after that you can log in. So let us explore few things that are currently existing in my database server. The first thing that we can do is listing what are the different databases that are currently existing. So for that we have to give the command so databases. So these are the databases that are currently existing in my server. Information schema, MySQL, performance schemas. These databases are already existing and are provided by the MySQL server itself. And this one is the one which I had created manually. So these are the databases that are currently existing. After that, what we can do is we can check with what user we are currently logged in. So for that, we can do select current user. So as you can see, we have logged in using the root user, so which is being displayed here, root at localhost. After that, if we want to explore what are the different users that are existing in our database, uh, we have to check through that information is provided in this MySQL database. So we have to explore the MySQL database to find out that information. So let us use that MySQL database, and we can enlist table by using show tables command. And then we have to find out the user. So in this user table inside MySQL database, the information about all the users is stored. So first of all, let us see what are the different columns the user table is having. So for that, we'll give command describe desc user. So there are lots of columns. So we may not be able to fit all if we simply do like select star from user. So it won't be able to fit in your terminal. So uh, we'll try to get only the relevant info, which is host user. Okay, let us fetch these two columns. Select host user from user. So these many users are currently existing in the database. This user MA user, and these are the default ones. The root user with which we have logged in. So these are the list of users that are currently existing. Since I have logged in using the root user, I can create users. I can give privileges. Since root is the highest level of privilege, so let us try to create one user. So let us create one user. For that, we have to give the command create username. For now, I'll give something like my user 8 localhost. This command will create the user for the given username. We can confirm this by checking the database user. So we can give command like select host user from mysql.user. Now we can see that the my user the new user my user has been added in this database. So from here we can confirm that the new user has been created. Now this user will have certain privileges by default. So to check the what are the privileges the current user is having, we can give the command select grants for the user whose permissions we want to check, my user at host, which in our case is localhost. Uh, uh, Let me fix the command. It should be so grants for. So here we can see that grant uses on asterisk dot asterisk to this user at localhost. So what this means is the uses grant is the least privileges in MySQL database. So when so what we can confirm from here is this is the newly created user and has not given any further permissions. This asterisk means all databases. Then this asterisk means all tables. So this asterisk dot asterisk means in all tables in all database. So by this user is having simply usage privilege. So we'll try to now we have created this user. So we'll try to log into the server using this newly created user. So I'll create one more terminal. So I'll try to log in using that user using the command MySQL -u and the new user. So which is my user and a password -b. Uh, I think yeah, we have not given any password for now. So we can simply log in without giving the password. So first let us give the password for this user. So for that what we can do is create alter user my user it localhost identify by some simple password I'm giving for now. So I hope this would work. Yeah, this work. Now I'll try to log out and I'll try to log in again using my user. Plus I'll give the password and yeah, I can log in this way. So instead of doing giving password separately, we can simply create one user and give the password at the same time using the command create user. I'm creating new user. Like let us give the name new user itself. At localhost identify by new pass or any password, whatever password. So this way also we can create and give password to the user directly. Now now we have already logged in using the my user. Let us try to explore the database and see what things we can do with the user's privilege. So I'll try to enlist all the database through these users. So for that, so databases. So see, here we are only being able to see these two databases, which are the default one provided by the MySQL. So we are not being able to see all the databases that we had seen from the root user. So I think let us try to create one database with this user. Create database MyDB from this newly created user. As you can see, we got X69 error. So in order to create, insert and drop, we have to give privileges to this user, and this task has to be done from the root user. So let us give the grant of create to this user. So for that we have to give the command uh, create sorry grant and the name of grant that we want to create. For now I want select oh no, for now I want to create a grant. Since I want to create database grant create to uh, my user at localhost. I forgot to close that inverted comma. Illegal authorizes. So the correct command is grant create on asterisk dot asterisk, or you can be particularized. So about this I'll talk later. Grant create an asterisk dot asterisk to my user at localhost. Yeah. So the grant the create grant has been provided to this user. So let us try to create database now. We are seeing access denied again. I think we have to do something like plus, not from here, from root user, plus privileges. And then try to do it again. No, it means maybe you can try log out and log in. So let us log in back, my user, and plus. Okay, now let us give the command create database. Yeah, now we are being able to create the database. Now I think with these privileges we can also create the table. Let us create some dummy table. Create table, my table, uh, column 1 int, column 2, character 20. Okay, first I need to select the database. Use my DB and keep this create command. Yeah, we can even create the table using this create privilege. Uh, let us see the schema of this newly created table. So for that, BESC, my table. So again, we have got permission error. Select command denied to user, my user at localhost. So we'll try to give these privileges also. So for that, grant select on asterisk dot asterisk. Okay. So no, I think we have to let us privileges. My user at grant select to my user at localhost. Let us log out and log in. Here's my DB. Describe my table. So yeah, after log out and login, the changes has taken place. So this way we can give particular grants to a user. Uh, I'll try to explain what are the different types of grants that exist in MySQL databases and what are their use. So primarily there are these many types of grants in MySQL. So the first is the global privileges, means the privileges will apply to all database and all tables. The global privileges is given by this identifier asterisk dot asterisk, and we can give permissions being particularized to a database. So here you can see we can give something like my database dot asterisk. So we can be specific to table columns. These are the measures one that the database administrators used, and the other types also exist, but they are not used primarily. So we'll try to be limited with these types only. In global privileges, I'll try to so these many grants can exist in global privileges. Grant all privileges, create drop process. In database privileges, we can give something like select, so that user can execute select queries, select, insert, update, delete, create. For table privileges means we can grant privileges being specific to a particular table in a particular database. For that, we have to use this identifier my database dot my table. So the syntax should be something like grant the privileges that we want to give, like grant select insert update on my database dot my table to user at localhost. We can give these many commands as column privileges, and column privileges can be given with this syntax my database dot my table and inside parenthesis column name. So we will not be exploring these routine privileges, event privileges. So even you can give the permission being specific to a particular database, or being even more specific to a table and columns. So this is all about grants. So before jumping into rules, let us explore how to revoke privileges from a particular user. for this newly created user, which is my user, we had given grants for select and create. So let us try to see how what grants were given to that user. So grants for user, my user at localhost. So these are the two grants that were given to this my user. Select and create. So if I want to drop this create grant for this user, uh, I have to give the command revoke create on asterisk dot asterisk to my user at localhost. Revoke create, it should be, I think it should be from, not to. So the query is okay. So now let us try to create a table after the grant has been revoked. So this was the command we had used earlier to create the table. Let us try to create another table, create table, my table 2, with following descriptions. Okay. Create table, revoke create. I think we have to log out and log in to change to see the effect. So MySQL -u. We have to get the correct password. So let us try to create another table now. First we have to select it, obviously. Okay. Yes, might be. And yeah, you can see that create command denied to user, my user at localhost. So using this revoke command, we can revoke the permissions that was given to a particular user. We can provide it multiple grants at the same time also using comma separated values. For example, you can give command like revoke create comma select on we can be more specific. This we can keep the scope more specific by giving something like mydb.mytable to revoke the permissions for this particular database only. So for now, I am giving I'm revoking global privilege from my user at localhost. So this is how we revoke permissions from a particular user. Now let us explore how to create roles and how to assign role to a particular user and how to revoke roles, and at last we'll see how to delete roles. Well, roles are useful in the scenarios when we have multiple users in our database and they share a similar set of privileges. For example, we can create a user read only and we can create a role read only and assign only read only roles, read only privileges to that role. And if we have multiple users which need that particular role, we can simply assign that role to those users. So roles helps in assigning user privileges much easily when in the case of multiple users. Now let us see how to create roles and assign roles to a user. Now to create a role, we have to give the command create role, the name of the role. So for example, I can give role 1. Uh, create role, uh, role 2. Okay, role 1 was already existing, so I created another role name role 2. Now I can give many privileges to this role and assign this role to any number of users. Now let us give some roles to let us give some privileges to this role using grant command. Grant select for example insert create to role 2. Grant select create grant on asterisk dot asterisk to role 2. So this is the correct syntax. Yeah. Now we can verify this using so grants for my user. So grants for role 2. Yeah, we can see that grant select insert and create are given to this role. Now we'll assign this role to our newly created user, which is uh, which is my user. For that, we have to give the command grant role to my user at localhost. Now the user has been successfully assigned the role of role2. Now we can verify that using the show branch for my user at localhost. So here you can see that grant role to it percentage. This means the current host to my user at localhost. From here, we can verify that the role2 has been assigned to the user my user. So this is how we can assign a role to a particular user. Now we'll see how to revoke this role from that user. So for that, we have to give the command revoke role to from my user at localhost. We can verify this by executing show grants. Now we can see that the role the user has been revoked the role of role2. So this is how we can revoke permissions from a particular user from a particular role. Now let us quickly see how to drop the user and as well as how to delete a role. So first we'll see how to delete a role. For that, we have to execute the command drop role2. So we can see the query has been executed. So this means the role has been dropped. At the same time, we can also drop the user, drop user, my user at localhost. The user has been deleted successfully. We can verify this by checking the user table in MySQL database. So can you use select host user from MySQL.user. So as you can see, the role and the my user has been removed from this list. So this way you can verify that the user has been deleted, user and roles has been deleted. So guys, that's it for today's video. Thank you for being up to here. I'll see you in the next one.